What's it like being the richest person on the planet? You may think it's a breeze, you may think it's super stressful, or a combination of the two. Either way, things certainly aren't dull. Which brings us to our next question. Could you live life as a famous billionaire? The best way to explore this is by looking at a day in the life of the world's richest individual, Elon Musk. In April 2022, Forbes announced that Musk had an incredible $219 billion under his belt. This means that he beat fellow billionaire Jeff Bezos to the punch by almost $50 billion. Bezos is well known through his Amazon empire and doing things like sending William Shatner himself into space. But Musk has his own space travel operation in SpaceX, and this time his financial rocket went higher than that of Mr. Bezos. Alongside SpaceX, Elon Musk is recognized for co-founding energy company and vehicle manufacturer Tesla. As well as soaring amongst the stars, he also has his feet, or rather his wheels, on the ground. How does Mr. Musk keep his show on the road each day? It's important to point out that, like all successful people, he manages his time very carefully. Plus, it's safe to say this man probably works a little longer than a so-called regular CEO. You're probably familiar with one of his most high-profile quotes: "Nobody ever changed the world on 40 hours a week." With various roles on his resume, including chief engineer at SpaceX, which is practically a full-time job in itself, he surely doesn't have enough hours in the day. There is no such thing as an average day for Musk. What there is, however, is routine. Now aged 50, he's had a lot of opportunities to streamline his work schedule for maximum efficiency. It arguably wasn't always that way though. Musk has spoken about nights when he'd sleep on the factory floor.
I don't have time to go home and shower and change, so I sleep here. Last time I was here, I actually slept literally on the floor.
In driving himself to be the best, he inevitably missed out on both personal and family time. This is a crucial point to make about Elon Musk. He not only pushes his own limits, but he's come to understand when to push forward and when to throttle back. On today's evidence, he balances work and home life as healthily as possible. So, what's it actually like being Elon Musk for a day? The answer is mind-blowing, and also surprisingly relatable at times. Let's say you're Elon Musk and you're waking up in the morning. You look over at the clock, where the alarm has interrupted your precious sleep. What time is it? 7 a.m. Musk's head reportedly hits the pillow around 1 a.m. He gets no less than 6 hours of sleep per night. Many of us have food on our minds first thing in the morning. Not Musk. He enjoys a cup of coffee like anyone. However, his key port of call is the shower. Not a bad move, but he's doing more than keeping clean.
Where do you come up with your best ideas?
This sounds really cliche, but like the shower is probably like, wake up and go to shower in the morning. You're kind of getting the results of last night's, computation, basically.
Right.
For this inspiring figure, there's no better place to think than being in the shower with the water running. Who knows what amazing ideas occur to him while showering? Sure, we've all had thoughts running through our minds in the shower, but it's a safe bet the majority aren't thinking about aerodynamic principles and such. After that, he's no doubt ready for a hearty breakfast. Actually, no, he isn't. Apparently, Elon Musk tends to skip the most important meal of the day. Sometimes he'll consume an omelette, though he's more likely to be consuming his daily emails. This is a constant factor in Musk's life, and he logs in almost as soon as he wakes up. Now is a good time to talk about how Musk communicates with his employees at SpaceX, Tesla, and his other companies, such as the Boring Company, who do infrastructure and tunnel construction. Boring, get it? Seems Mr. Musk enjoys a good play on words. Yet when it comes to workplace interactions, he has a long-established no-nonsense system. Musk is a great believer in email communication. Also, he has an intriguing approach to physical meetings, which we'll go into shortly. Before that, he needs to travel from home to work, which he does himself. No driver for this billionaire, it appears. Indeed, reports have stated that Musk lives in a SpaceX rental property worth a relatively meager $50,000. The rental isn't his only dwelling, of course. He and his family inhabit a range of luxury accommodation, as you might expect. On a side note, this is a far cry from when Musk was starting out. When he was in college, he apparently rented his home out as a party pad to raise rent money. On the way to work, Musk is carrying a precious cargo: his children. Yes, like any other father, Elon Musk does the school run. Not only that, but he's maintaining contact with the wider world via email. He apparently uses an obscure email address to minimize his message intake. But even so, talk about multitasking. With the kids dropped off safely, Musk heads swiftly to his next destination. Where will that be today? Well, if it's a Monday or Friday, then he's headed for SpaceX. Tuesday to Thursday, he's based at Tesla. With extra activities on Saturday, that adds up to a whole chunk of time. It's reported he spends as much as 100 hours per week doing his thing.
If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
Once at the office, he puts his designer hat on to think up the engineering ideas that form the bread and butter of his empire. 80% of his working life is devoted to brainstorming, developing, and refining these concepts. Earlier, we mentioned that Elon Musk has an intriguing approach to face-to-face meetings. What did we mean by that? Put simply, he prefers his meetings small and short, so he can get on with the business of making stuff happen.
And one thing we have at the companies is we try to minimize the size of meetings.
Such is his insistence on this, that workers can walk out of a gathering should they feel their time would be better spent elsewhere. Imagine if you did that with your boss. What do you think the reaction would be? While deeply involved in the day-to-day workings of his business, even down to walking the factory floor, Musk is also kind of hands-off. He reportedly doesn't micromanage and lets his staff get on with things. Speaking of which, you may have noticed that Musk has stopped working after 5 minutes. What? Does he need to go to the bathroom or something? Maybe, but this is actually a key part of his work strategy. Elon Musk applies himself in intensive 5-minute periods. Rather than burn through hours at a stretch, Musk takes bite-sized steps towards his goals. This includes grouping together tasks in a concentrated system he calls batching. Sounds surprising, but this approach does have its drawbacks. You know how sometimes you become so absorbed in a task that you forget to eat? Turns out, Elon Musk suffers from this kind of thing, just like anyone. The least disciplined part of his daily life could well be meal consumption. There's eating on the go, and then there's eating on the go Elon Musk style. He just likes to munch through a lunch as rapidly as possible. We're hoping he has some indigestion pills on standby there. What does he eat? Pizza has been mentioned. Musk also likes French food. Does he wolf down a baguette in the office? That would be interesting to watch. Following an afternoon of designing, meetings, and a mind-boggling variety of to-dos, it's finally time for Elon Musk to hit the road. What does Musk do when the pressure's off? Or rather, when the pressure has let up just slightly? Chances are he's attending a work dinner, though he knows how to blow off steam when he needs to. Musk feels the burn at the gym, though not as often as you might think. Some sources peg his workout schedule at a couple of times per week. He's far from a fitness freak, it seems, though he looks after himself. If he didn't, then he wouldn't be able to function at such a high level. The less health-conscious side of Musk's life involves drinking and partying. He famously played hide-and-go-seek at an English castle for his 30th birthday. That said, a more regular evening for Musk involves getting stuck into a good book, like The Lord of the Rings, or playing video games like Halo. Maybe when Elon Musk retires, to bed that is, he thinks about his legacy. No doubt many are watching this video and being inspired by how a super successful person lives their life. But what does Musk think he's personally bringing to the world when his time finally comes to an end? One answer to this lies in education. Musk doesn't just design space shuttles and such. He's also very interested in child development, particularly when it comes to his own children. We know Musk thinks big. However, this time he went above and beyond. Working with teacher Josh Dahn, in 2014 he co-founded the Ad Astra School, which means to the stars in Latin. Do the students in Musk's school learn Latin? Maybe that's seen as a little impractical. The Ad Astra curriculum takes in subjects like ethics, and also more hands-on tasks, such as making weather balloons. Also, flamethrowers. Powerful stuff for kids aged between 7 through 14. There reportedly isn't a grading system, so young minds don't come under stress thinking about those all-important A's, B's, or C's. That certainly takes the heat off, depending on whether they're making flamethrowers or not. It's widely acknowledged that Musk wants to change the world, and part of that involves how upcoming generations respond to the challenges of the century. Getting the approach right from a young age is seemingly vital to Musk. I think college is basically for fun and to prove that you can do your chores, but they're not for learning, he said at one point. It's obvious that Elon Musk has his sights set on the future. He's done this for decades, though now he's the richest person in the world, his words are arguably listened to more than ever. He wouldn't have reached this point without a rigorous daily schedule, strict time management, and above all, a sense of himself and his own well-being.